Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well out there. It's project saw time again. I think I can honestly say, and I know I'm probably repeating it from the last video, I don't think I'd buy that many saws again in one go. The last between 60 or 70 have just made it, if you're busy with work anyway, you just can't move for chainsaws as lovely as it is. I just wish I had bigger workshops. So he's a really nice guy, and he had a really impressive number of Italian saws, and several of which I have picked up from him. And so Oleo Mac, really interesting company history. A really interesting company history, in fact. If any of you like the provenance or the history of companies and the etymology, you know, where the words, how they started, it's a really interesting story. And so Oleo Mac officially as a company started in relatively late for chainsaw companies, 1972, and their attributed founder is Ariello Bartoli, and but interestingly, himself and his cousin, who was Nello, he's younger as well, by the way. So Nello Salsa Pariglia, any Italians, please forgive the pronunciation, was making tractors. He's got a really interesting history as well. He's an Italian boy. When was he born? In 1926 in Emilia, above, if you know your geography, in Italy, maybe 50 or 75 miles north of Florence in central Italy, near the top. And he started making tractors, Salsa Pariglia, and then in the early 60s, when that business was coming to a close, his younger cousin, Bartoli, so Ariello Bartoli, who was working for Fiat as a car salesman, and obviously with mechanical knowledge, and then between them they formed the incredible company Sabart, and they did that by combining their names. So you had their surnames, so they took Nello Salsa Pariglia, they took the SA, and then from Ariello's name, Bartoli, they took the Bart, so Sabart. So Sabart was formed in 63, and then you fast forward on 9 years from there, and you had Bartoli then started Oleo Mac, and it's incredible the number of family ties in between all of these companies. And then in 1978, people get confused about a few of the links. Giacomo Ferretti formed the company, which a lot of you will know, EFCO, another play on words, Giacomo Ferretti, EFCO, and he formed that in 78, and then in the early 90s, 92, they joined and formed another company with the amalgamation together, EMAC. It's a really interesting history. So, right, so lots of project saws. This one's the 251, 44, 32. Again, early 70s saws, non-chain brake, little plastic knuckle guard, has okay. I put some fuel in earlier to see if it was going to prime, so don't know if that kill switch is even working. I was going to show you if it actually primed and fired. So yeah, okay, so she does spark. That's literally nothing else is done. It's got a slight bend on the handle here, and the exhaust looks really, really good. Doesn't look like the bolts have been off. No brakes to the side cover. I'm not sure if I've even taken the side cover off. Clutch drums present. Obviously non-AV or fixed mount. So that's the 251. So the real apparent damage on that is just this kind of twist on the handle. And other than that, that might be an amazing spare saw or project saw. So that's the 251. Next one to show is the, I haven't put any fuel in this, but I will do that now. This one's this is the 261. Okay, interesting model as well. Interesting how they make their displacements as well. More conventional on that one, that's a 49cc. So the 261 is, so a lot of you know the Huskies, 48-34. These run a 47-35. So slightly smaller on the piston, only 1 mil, slightly longer on the stroke. Just a slightly different characteristic to the engine. Again, all mag alloy construction, no chain brake. The tabs are still over on the exhaust. It has really good compression, non-AV. Again, 70s saw early, this teardrop shape here. So it's missing a spark plug cap, missing the cap for the air filter housing, and other than that, looks really, really complete. Again, no time to breathe. So I think in total there is, I haven't picked up the other ones, so I'm just not going to be able to process them. There's just no time to pick them up. Oh yeah, she's got a crack on the side cover. Crack on the side cover. What else can I tell you about this? Bit of paint loss. Handle wrap looks really, really good. That's supposed to have a knuckle guard. Knuckle guard is missing. Let's grab the fuel bottle. So I did this when I collected it, and I'm pretty sure it fired, although it's hard to remember when there's so many saws. What's that? Is that way? So, like I said, missing the air filter cap on this. It would be unfair to say that spares on some of the Oleos aren't difficult, because they are. So trying to find top covers and things is a challenge, just because of, you know, the size of the company back then and their distribution. And actually, it's an interesting subject. I got to tell you about a conversation I had with a retired Husqvarna dealer. Okay, so is that up and up, and choke, kills it. Okay, so that's the extent of the testing on this girl. Clutch drums present, crack in the side cover, missing the HT lead's been screwed onto the nut terminal on top of the spark plug. The exhaust tabs are over, I haven't taken the exhaust off, and there you go. Again, hopefully an amazing part saw, maybe a restoration saw. Just again, this is the decade in which these saws were first manufactured, in the 70s, so really becoming far more difficult to find. So that's the beautiful 261. I was going to show you the 260 Super, but it's the second one that's done that recently as well. The spring broke earlier on when I just ported it over just to see if it was going to run for us for a video. So we're going to have to come back to that one. Right, let's put that girl there. Right, leaves us with two very interesting ones, although I'm pretty sure, well, two people messaged and said, could I do the video for the 65? I thought I'd done the video, but there you go, thought I'd done the video, but we'll do it in a head-to-head. It'd be interesting. So this is the Partner S65, 48mm piston, 36mm stroke, running a 22-inch bar, new full chisel chain brake, classed as a semi-pro. Beautiful looking saw, everything working, just absolutely beautiful saw. We're going to put this girl then, so this is nominal 65 cc's, and we're going to run that against so this saw then, the 272, they call it 272, it's not 72 cc's though, unusual. So like the 61 is a 47-35, these are a 49mm piston, 35mm stroke, giving you a nominal 67. So something like the Husky 266 or 268 running a 50 and a 34. This is one down and one up again. Beautiful original Oregon solid nose bar, and wasn't oiling. I know some amazing collectors, so I had arrived yesterday or the day before, time warp, a replacement oil pump. Send one off, and he puts on new O-rings or whatever he does and services them. Apparently the O-ring sizes, a bit like the John Sears 621, the 80, etc., where the oil pump is mounted at the front here, the rackets. When they stop pumping, apparently the O-rings are very difficult. It's a difficult job to service. So £15 for an exchange, put the oil pump in, pumping beautifully, and I picked up a brand new chain today on the way home for her, so she's got a full chisel chain. So this girl only has one thing not working, which is the kill switch. There's only 2 wires going to it, so if I had a chance, I'll have a look at that. I should imagine it's just an earthing point, or the switch is, perhaps the switch is broken internally. So we're going to do a head-to-head then with the 67cc versus the S65. We'll take a couple of discs. This girl is a beautiful running engine. Kind of just hear it popping as you move the kill switch over, so perhaps it's just got one of the cables partially broken internally, or maybe the switch. Okay guys, let's run this girl back to back. So these again, so this girl's full AV, slightly later version, has the plastic knuckle guard. What is there else to say about this thing? Bit of paint missing on the underside, felling spikes present. Pistons really clean, throttle lock, everything else appears to work well. Tiny chip on the plastic on the air filter housing at the back. Air filter's present. Some of the material fleck or the felt covering is kind of all just gone away, but the metal framework is all there. So that's a beautiful saw as well. Okay, let's take a couple of discs. I'm really interested. So fully adjustable chain oiler, definitely a pro saw for its day. I'll pit it against the semi-pro Partner. So both circa 1980s. This will be really interesting. My feeling is the extra weight in the 272 is going to slightly have the legs on the Partner, although it's an amazing engine as well. Right, let's take a couple of discs in. Hey, can't wait. So both running 3/8, 22-inch bar, 20-inch bar, both 3/8 full chisel, both new chains. Okay. Right. Take a couple of small discs, then we'll go on something bigger. Oh. Choke. Choke off. Hey guys, well, the Partners again just runs flawlessly. I'm sure I did run that before. Anyway, Partner runs flawlessly. So we're only going through 10-inch at present, but we've got a real gnarly 13 or 14-inch piece. We'll go straight after with that. So that's my first cut today then with the 272. Brand new chain. Okay, let's see how this girl performs. May need adjusting obviously in the cut. Wow, she's impressive. Just flawless running and cutting. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's try the. Yeah. Very interesting to know how much extra weight is just in the chassis, or how much extra is in the crank between these two. This will be really interesting. There we go. What was that? 3 discs then, I think. Right, let's take 3 with this girl. What is there to say? Just flawless running and just flawless running. I do fancy that the 272's there's only 2 cc's in it, but I'm not sure if it's the weight of the engine. I'll go try a disc on the same wood. I might take that knot off. Okay. guys. Well, I'd probably have to watch a replay of the time. They're very close, and this screw is definitely 3 or 4 pounds heavier. Strange, isn't it? I feel like this possibly has more power in the cut. The 65, because it's a bit lighter, feels a touch more maneuverable, but there you go, 2 beautiful saws. So this is the Italian then, 272, 4935, and the beautiful Swedish Partner S65 running a 4836. So just kind of one up and one down and breathing on each other. Both amazing, just amazing saws for their era. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope that answers the questions that have been asked. And if you get a chance and you want to look up really interesting history, have a look up Oleo Mac, have a look up Nello Salsa Periglia, look at his history when he was a boy, and how these family, friends and relatives have started. I think they said that his workshop when he started was 5 meters squared. So, you know, 5 meters squared. It's like a garage, 20 foot, you know, less than 20 foot square. Can you believe? And if you also feel like looking, have a look at the first, when they launched Sabart in '63, they were launched as a chainsaw manufacturer. But if you try to find through many references Sabart chainsaws, it's very difficult to find. But if you do see some of the pictures, have a look, and then if you feel like commenting, tell me what are the really famous saw that launched in the 1970s, what that reminds you of. Guys, take care. Bye for now.